I love that.
Yeah?
That looks fantastic. Oh yeah, it's perfect. You have immaculate sound design for all of our rituals.
I like how you put us talking in the first one. I did not think you were going to do that at all.
No, you had so much cool stuff to say. Like, Liz was mad at me, like, because, like, she was like, they're saying so much cool stuff and I can barely hear it over, like, the waves and, like,
That's funny.
all that shit. Yeah, no, I was like, well, like, yeah, because, like, I don't know. But, yeah, no, like, I felt like it was, like, important, like, I felt like it was important to, like, understand how we were coming at things, like, maybe that's a little bit, like, didactic, but, like, no, I just felt like, yeah, like, it was cool, like, while the ritual was happening to kind of have this, like, perspective into our process, like,
Right.
even if it, like, you know, because, like, I'm of the philosophy, I love artist statements. I love when artists tell you what to think, but like...
Really? Because I'm kind of the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, I would rather like make my own, like let my imagination figure it out rather than being told what it is. But it depends on the art, I guess.
Yeah, no, that really makes sense. Like, I definitely don't like it when like artists are like, this is the one way that you think about what I've made. Like,
Yeah.
you can't think about like this painting or this movie in any other way. I only made it like for this purpose. That seems narcissistic, but like, yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like an artist statement gives you a launching point from which to kind of like,
That's true.
yeah, figure out your own interpretation. Like, and what I was gonna say is like I never trusted artists. Artists are full of shit. Like, like,
True.
yeah, like when I write artist statements, I'm bullshitting. Like,
Yeah, that
half
was
the time.
my experience writing art statements too.
Yeah,
Trying to make it sound like philosophical and all this stuff. It's like this actually just like I wanted it to look good. That's it.
No, that's like, I have my friend Evan, like, his big thing is like coming at like art from a very formalist like perspective, like, or maybe structuralist is the better term. Like, he believes like that art should just be about the process and it shouldn't be about the artist's biographical like information or like anything or the context. Like, that stuff totally doesn't interest him like at all. Yeah, you probably get along great with Devyn, but yeah, no, like I'm not that way. Like, everything I make is like so autobiographical. Like, like even this project is like because of a breakup, like a breakup that didn't really happen. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was biking to class like 2 days after like it happened, and I was like, I want to do an artistic project about like being broken up with, but I wanted to not be like, because I feel like you look at something like Marriage Story or like something, it's so like self-pitying, like it's wallowing in this like middle class like bourgeois like self-loathing. Like, I've heard people like joke that like Marriage Story, like they're not even divorcing for a good reason. Like, there's not even there's not even really a real incompatibility. They're just like on a philosophical level dissatisfied with each other, and that's dumb. I feel like so much breakup media is like that. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I was definitely like curious while we were working on this, like kind of what your stake like in this is, what your stake in like angels are, what your stake in kind of like these kinds of ritualistic like performances. That's,
Yeah, I mean I think we have similarities in terms of the breakup thing, because when we did our first ritual on full moon, it was about releasing attachments to my ex, and I feel like a lot of the times when I do look to angels for guidance, like it is to like, what's the word, cleanse me of like whatever is kind of like holding me or like pulling me in ways that feel really dark.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's okay, but like I feel like I have a relationship with like angels that are like, I was actually just like journaling about this yesterday with the full moon of like, I want to do more rituals like every day of like asking the angels to cleanse me, and that can look just like so simple as like closing my eyes and like having them sprinkle their glitter on me. And that sounds like really silly and like woo, but like I like that and that feels good for me, and I like feeling like the playful aspect of it. And I feel like a lot of spirituality, and when people talk about angels, it's so like kind of serious, or just sounds, I don't know, like they're like everyone's taking themselves like so seriously, and it's like it's actually, it can be very like playful and childish and like fantastical, and it doesn't have to be this, like with you even like being a little bit skeptical, like you can still do this kind of stuff and like but still be like get something out of it, even if you don't like fully like believe that like angels are like guiding
right,
you know.
A central feature of Ezekiel's vision, according to Lieb, is how the vision reveals only to hide. Lieb goes on to observe how, if the creatures stretch two of their wings upward, in a posture of disclosure, they also cover their bodies with their two other wings in a posture of concealment. Ezekiel 1:11. The paradox implicit in this posture establishes a metaphysics of vision. Disclosure is concealment, concealment, disclosure. When describing his films, Sheretz often speaks in terms of violent destruction. The stated objective for Ray Gun Virus is the temporary assassination of the viewer's normative consciousness. And Third Degree is a violent drama where there is a formal beauty in the destructiveness of the burning film. Razor Blades, meanwhile, is meant to be an infinite loop where metric time is destroyed. This destructive impulse appears to come from the fact that Sheretz is angry with this society, the things that have happened with Marxist systems. I'm kind of angry with the world. In The Late Great Planet Earth, Hal Lindsey draws upon 1 Corinthians 15:51-2, which is coincidentally invoked in R. Bruce Elder's description of Et Resurrectus Est, and Philippians 3:20-1 to argue that in the moment of rapture, the body is transformed or initiated into Christ's fraternity. This assertion corresponds with the Mormon conception of transfiguration, where the condition of persons are temporarily changed in appearance and nature so that they can endure the presence and glory of heavenly beings. Perhaps late great planet Earth seeks to work on consciousness rather than being a political project. It is a text arguing for spectatorship, a new mode of static subjectivity in a weird, upsetting world. The Rapture, in particular, allows Lindsay to explore spectatorship in a novel way. Brown observes how the mixed alien-human babies are confounding. They inhabit an ill-defined area between the real and imagined. This is confirmed by Partridge, who draws upon the closing scene of Rosemary's Baby and the Nephilim from 1st Enoch to argue that these hybrid infants are a threat. What I shall call the angelic offspawn is a liminal intellectual as well as sensual enterprise springing from the union of angelized bodies, calling into question the distinctions by which we imagine ourselves as human. Explicating how de Avila draws upon beauty in her exegetical writing, Twomey argues that the beauty of the soul is not dissimilar to the norms of luminous beauty, for it too reflects the light through a myriad of pure surfaces which allow the light to pass through and illuminate the interior. In short, the soul receiving revelation crystallizes in the image of light. Smith believes that there is too much focus on the revelatory aspects of Sherritt's filmmaking, and that Sherritt himself was concerned with what his films displaced or withhold, through the way that his films generate moments of loss that call into question the position of a viewing subject. There is therefore something occult and esoteric in the act of experiencing a Sherritt's film. Through the distinction between memory/imagination and reality, Dodd argues that people are affected not so much by their experience of alien abduction, which is usually forgotten, but by their memories of alien abduction. In this model, memory mediates between the terrestrial subject and their supernatural encounter. If we learn from angels, what do the angels learn from us? No, I think that that's something I've kind of learned in researching this project, is that the figure of the angel is a very I think useful tool for understanding around us, because I really liked what you said about angels being this kind of cleansing for us, because I feel like that gets kind of overlooked, the pedagogical aspect of angels as teachers, angels as messengers. That's usually what people focus on. They don't focus on the fact that in the process of learning, in the process of revelation, that is a cleansing. That is revelation is kind of a way of clearing the dust out of our minds, and angels are kind of the vehicles for that.
I mean, we can always edit that part out.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just gonna put it right here.
Are you gonna put sprinkles on it or no?
Oh yes.
Okay.
It's gotta be as gross as possible.
Is that a butter knife?
Yes. I don't know where my scissors. I'm gonna look for my scissors. There are my scissors. I'm gonna keep the butter knife. Ooh, I should get a fork too. Be ladylike. Just watch. This is how I die. Rip Chris. You raw beef. Well, when I was 16, I went to this like wacko thing called Buckeye Boys Day. It was like fascist camp for high schoolers. Like, and like everyone was bragging about all the raw meat they ate. Like, it really stuck with me. More so than any of the indoctrination into the glories of democracy.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna do like a nice shot of me. Usable after.
Use them up. How should I do that? Yeah, let's do that again. Is that okay or no?
That's hilarious.
Wait. Get multiple Okay, next time you do it, you gotta do it slower.
It's so hard not to. It actually tastes pretty good, is the problem.
Oh my god.
Like the texture is nasty, but it's actually like not bad.
Oh god.
And like it's reverse eating around you all the time.
Do you follow anyone? No. I love this.
I did want to ask, is like growing up, like I grew up like with like all of these like ridiculous Mormon angel stories. Like I remember one time my like seminary teacher like shared this chain email she had received. She read through all of the like emails that like framed the like original email, so it like took like 10 minutes to get to this. The story itself was hilarious. Well, like in the story, like someone at like a youth camp like saw an angel, and then like it was this amazing experience, and then they saw a demon right after, like, and, which is like cool. That has like a kind of nice literary ring to it, but like I was like, come on, like even when I like believed, I was like, come on, like that's like sexual oppression or like something. Like, I have a lot to say about angels and sexual oppression. Well, yeah, how do you?
I want to hear about that.
Well, I will definitely get to that, but like, how do you experience like angels? Like, is it a visual thing? Is it like a feeling like thing? Like, yeah, how does it work? Like,
I feel like a lot of the time I just make it up in my head. Like I don't have any sort of like visual thing. I mean, I like to collect little angel figurines and stuff.
yeah.
And I have this hanging of this angel weaving type thing. And like the side is like there's a light. I should have brought it for the project. There's like the normal side of like this angel dressed in all white, like how you are with the halo and the wings and this very beautiful setting. But on the other side you can see like the negative image, which is like very like dark blues, black, like the eyes, I forget if the eyes are white or, but it looks very like evil.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that, and I kind of like, I mean, I kind of worship this, like, this isn't an angel, but like the goddess Ishtar.
Right.
And she feels like very in tune with her darkness for me. like she like traveled to hell and back, and like is the goddess of love and war, and so many people view angels as these like divine, holy, loving creatures, but a lot of them are very like dark and powerful too.
Right. I like that. Like,
Tell me, tell me, tell me. There was that one time I kissed you, the burning, falling, tumbling angel of Chicago rising up from the lake. Tell me, tell me, tell me. What is it like to kiss an angel? Bodies are meant to be filled with light, organs replaced by beauty and goodness. We have been caressed by an apocalypse of light touches and the slippery correspondence of a tongue against your body. The body is a vessel, and an angel is a penetration lacking phallus. Every surface you lay me down upon, consecrated, becomes an altar. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Our love is the figuration of the supply chain, rupturing. All angels are a rupture. Light, leaking, through a purple sky. Afterwards, you stood by my window sipping your tea, pinned against the wall, drowning in your flames. I knew you couldn't stay long. Angels never stay long, no. An angel is just the flip side of a nightmare.
I was reading about like how I think it's Gabriel is like the angel of mercy, and then you have Michael who's the angel of justice. So they're kind of like you know, like foils for each other. Like, and like I what you were talking about, it made me think like it's interesting to think of the angel as a merciful figure that's always attended by its photo negative, like by something that's like. They're like another way of thinking of justice as power. Like, thinking of the angel as just this figure of like pure, like sheer power. I think it's really, I think that's really cool. Like, I think that adds complexity to something that can be like simplified and like made super bland and like palatable. Like, I was reading about like why angels are so popular in like pop music. Like the author like started with this list of like artists who like use angel wings, like Sufjan Stevens, Kanye, like Billie Eilish, like I think like the angel is a very palatable like figure, and I think the whole movement towards like the biblically accurate angels to like kind of is Zoomers trying to put the fear of God back in themselves. Like oh, look at this ineffable, terrible like thing that's like scary and horrifying. It's not just like a like I think like angel figurines like you're describing, like they still like have this intense power to them. But like, I think we often forget that. I think it's easier to remember that power when we see some like multi-eyed, like wheel-shaped, like thingamajig. Like,
thingamajig. That's floating around.
Yeah, weird thingamabobber. It's like floating around Jesus. I'm like
bobber.
That's what I'm gonna call the lower order angels from now on.
I love it.
I'm proud of that one. But I don't know. I like Yeah, I feel like I have to justify what I said about angels being like products of sexual repression.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you read like Saint Teresa of Avila's like account, and like it's told like, oh, this beautiful angel came and like penetrated me like with the love of God, like, and it made me moan, like, and it's like, come on, like, you haven't been laid in a while, Teresa, like I think like the angel is like a like. I think angels are, like, I think there's a reason that, like, Mormons kind of downpedal angels a bit. Like, angels aren't a huge part of Mormon theology. Like, they're definitely, like, an aspect. Like there's actually a really weird revelation Joseph Smith got where, like, Jesus was like, oh, like, you can tell if an angel is an angel by asking to shake its hand. Like, I'm like, which is totally just, like, Freemason bullshit. Like, it's totally just, like, here's how you spot a Mason. But because the Masons have all these weird handshakes.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I used to like do Mason handshakes with my brothers and it would piss my parents off.
Really?
Those are the handshakes they do in the Mormon temple. Like it's part of their like top secret, super sacred rituals. And here I was like, yeah, a punk ass 17-year-old just going maha bone to my brothers, like, which we thought was like the funniest shit.
Yeah.
Like, we thought a handshake where you say maha bone to each other was like so funny, but...
How did it go? Do you remember?
Oh, so like what you do is like you take like your three middle fingers and you like, yeah, so you like, and then you wrap the pinky and the thumb around and then you like shake and yeah, you say maha bone.
What the fuck?
Is this gonna go into the final cut?
I hope so.
Bryce has a secret. No one has secrets anymore, Allison says as she hands him an apple crisp macchiato. Our generation loves to share too much to have secrets. Maybe. I don't know. Bryce taps his fingers against his cup and sighs. Allison knows Bryce has a secret in the way he will pause, look up at the sky, and then quickly say something banal. You wouldn't believe gas prices right now, or do you think Linda and Dale are a thing? And Allison knows, and she knows that if Bryce ever found out, it would compromise their friendship. All friendships, after all, are such delicate creatures founded upon secrets. Wherever Azrael stood, she tore a hole in printer paper reality. Everywhere Azrael goes, the structure collapses. They say, shouting to each other over the roar of the blue line, that she is building a brand new crossbow, and she will use this crossbow to shoot down the 4 archangels that keep the trains running on schedule. A note on Azrael's crossbow. Azrael's crossbow is a partly metaphorical crossbow, for it is a supercomputer made out of raw bleeding meat and powered by human testicles. On an evil, symbolic level, however, the supercomputer appears as a crossbow.
I feel like you had all this interesting stuff to say, and I was like, here's my bimbo interpretation of angels.
No, I loved it. I was like, oh, I have all this pretentious grad school shit. This is I think like it's so easy, like in grad school, like or in any like rigorous like intellectual environment, to like lose touch with like just like intuition and just like like you were describing how like for angels for you are like a product of imagination, a product of you like of your like your interface with angels is a product of your imagination, your creativity, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, which I think is like that's awesome. That's so cool. Like that. No, that's so cool to have. Like I think like that's what R. Bruce Elder, who's like a huge influence on this project, like says. It's like that. Like modernism, like technology, and industrialization, like the like prevalence of like the image, like photography, film, in like consumer culture. It's cut us off from nature. It's cut us off from a relationship with nature, which is like predicated on like creativity and the imagination.
Yeah.
Like that's his form of Christianity. It's like this creative act, like, and like, yeah, like I'm not a religious person at all, but I think that's cool. I think that's a much better. I think dogma becomes another way of like losing touch with reality. No, like I was talking about that with this friend, and like she was like, yeah, rationality is just like it just becomes another form of like kind of restricting your access to like things like angels, things like the goddess Ishtar, like 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 I don't know.
Yeah, being rational and practical is so boring.
It is. Like you need it to like do your taxes.
Whatever. It's true.
But like it's not fun. It's not. It doesn't make good art. Like no good art comes from dogma. Like or like strict adherence to like rules.
Yeah, that's a fun way to create too, is like letting the angels or the divine or whatever you want to say, like letting that move through you while you create. Like, whether it's like painting or writing or playing music. Like I feel like a lot of people strive to have that. And sometimes you can really tell when someone's like really connecting with the divine. When they're like, I think of music when I can, like when someone is playing music. Like I think of Lonnie Holly.
Yeah.
And like seeing him live, like completely improvising everything, never playing anything twice, and like really just kind of like surrendering to the moment, surrendering to the divine, and how you can feel that and how you feel touched by that.
Yeah, I love that.
I think just improvising in general too, a lot of times, is like when you are really surrendering to the moment and not having a plan when you're playing or painting or creating or whatever. Like it just feels more magical and more playful, and it's like you are just like forgetting about whatever it is that's on your mind, and you're just like there right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I feel like that's beautiful. Yeah, like trying to figure out a good follow-up to that, but like.
How do you gracefully inform your friend that last summer aliens stole your testicles in order to create a computer made out of meat? Every alien abduction and blackout drunk night becoming kaleidoscopic multitudes teeming beneath your violated flesh. The sky is white like angel's dust. Syncopated cloud movement. Can you heal me now? No. Can you help me heal me now? No, I can help me heal me now. Because horses are running through my head, and they are fast and strong and majestic like me, and I love them.
Yeah, I guess like I was thinking while you were talking about that, like what about your process? Like you like are you into like music and like performance and like photography and stuff? Like with what you've done like recently, like, what does that look like? Like that kind of like interface with it.
I mean, it's tough right now because like I feel like I'm so focused on like having a portfolio that looks really good to be able to get into grad school, so I'm less connected with like magic while I work, and it feels much more mechanical. So I'm like in the process of like trying to get that back again, and that's something I was journaling about with the new moon, is like creating just to create and not to have an outcome. Because that's where the magic is, when you just are like doing it because you want to create something and you want to be in the act of creation instead of like, I'm gonna make this thing and it's gonna be this way for this audience, and like allowing myself to create without showing anyone even, like, and without like worrying about the audience or who's gonna look at it, or I don't know, even like the way that I create it, like not worrying about that either, and just kind of like, it's okay if it's bad, like, because it's fun. And that's like, I want to get back to that playful kind of like, because that's where the divine is for me, is when I'm just playing or creating for the sake of playing or creating.
No, definitely. Like, it kind of makes me wonder if magic is art without an audience. I like art, like being this incredibly like personal, organic thing.
An angel dies, an angel lives forever, flapping its wings, falling. An angel dies, it just falls and starts on fire like a comet. When an angel dies, it compacts and expands in a geometric way, like an angel dying is just shapes morphing into the abyss of nothingness, like when lightning strikes it so fast and scary and beautiful. Like imagine being blinded by lightning, or angels dying, because it will haunt you for the rest of your life. Like, are there even funerals for the dead angels? Are there even funerals? Do the feathers decompose? Or do they float in space forever in memorial to the space or sky they touched with their little scary angel shit? Do angels shit? And if so, where does it go? Do angels cry? Or do they just sing?
I think like that sense of play is like really lost in a lot of like mainstream, like, not to be one of those hipsters who's like, well, like mainstream art is so bad. I saw Bullet Train with my mom like when she was in town. It was great. Awesome movie. Hot guys beating the shit out of each other on a train. Like,
that sounds fun the way you describe it.
It is. Like, yeah, it's just Brad Pitt is still hot. Like, and he gets beat up, and it's awesome.
Yes.
It's like the John Wick movies. Like, I love when like John Wick gets beat up, and I'm like, wow, this is hot. Like, I'm in the guys now. Like.
Yes.
But yeah, like, no, like I love mainstream movies, but they like lack the sense of play, like something like Stan Brakhage, like who's like totally about like, you know, waving his camera around and like not even having it focused, and totally like scribbling on the like film strip itself.
When an angel dies, all the light falls off. The eyes are closed, but the space remains. Floating smoothly above any human height, her light melts into the stars where it melts trees and rocks and everything in its path. But the darkness just wanders in place. It has no will to move. She's like water in a bowl. The angel's fallen parts seek each nook and cranny of reality. They can wind chaos through, tentatively, gluing the world in its false reality.
This is so pretentious, I feel like.
I love this. I'm thriving right now. Do you think we should call it a wrap?
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Do you think so?
I think we've said everything I can.